Ever wonder why your iPhone batteries didn't work as well when a new phone came out? Why you may get a check from Apple.
Uh-oh, here's one that didn't get away. The story behind this fisherman's record-setting catch.
And a Berea College graduate is making a name for himself on a popular children's show. We'll catch up with Chris Hayes. It's on now. Hello, everyone. It's Tuesday, March 3rd. I'm Jennifer Palumbo, along with Seth Phillips.
And my friend William here.
Yes.
William the Wolf.
Yes.
We're going to be talking to a puppeteer
Yes.
for Sesame Street coming up on the show. It's going to be absolutely amazing. But before we get to that, we have a lot to discuss.
Yes.
I'll let you go ahead and kick everything off today.
Well, I mean, we just want to send our thoughts and prayers to all of our
Absolutely.
friends down in Nashville. I think at last check, the death toll was 19
It's
from
up, yeah.
tornadoes, and I'm sure it'll climb. And I didn't realize that it's the #1 state in the country for nighttime tornadoes. Like,
Yeah.
I would have thought like Oklahoma or something, but Tennessee.
And that's when they're the most dangerous because so many people are sleeping.
Exactly.
And it's just not something that you're aware of at that point. A little bit of weather breaking news for you. There was it's a confirmed preliminary tornado. So they're still doing damage surveys in Warren County this morning, now into the afternoon, for a tornado that went through just southeast of Bowling Green. So there is preliminary reports right now of an EF1. I think I saw as high as 90-mile-per-hour winds with that tornado. So there's going to be more information that's going to come out. We're going to write a blog post on it a little later on. So I want to get that out of the way.
And this is the season. I mean, so you need to be you need to be paying attention.
It's also the season for hiking.
Yes.
And getting outdoors. And as you remember yesterday, I told you about my trip into the Pinnacles at Berea, actually, is where I went. And I wanted to show a few of those pictures. Couldn't get them in time yesterday.
Back when we still had sunshine on Sunday.
Oh, my gosh. It was such a beautiful day. This is from East Pinnacle, one of my favorite overlooks from the hike. If you have not been up there, you need to make a trip. It's wonderful, especially in the early morning when the fog is still kind of sitting in the valleys. It's really nice to see. This is, I'm an amateur photographer, okay, with my iPhone. And I did this one.
I'm so impressed.
Pretty proud of it, okay? Pretty proud of it.
Yes.
And then this one was my favorite. I had to actually climb down into a little crevice to get under these icicles. You know, it was all for the photo.
That seems a little dangerous, though. Like something could have melted and hit you with one.
They were starting to fall. I'm not kidding you. In fact, there was ice all over the floor, the ground right there in front of me.
Don't try that at home.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't recommend it. But it was so worth the shot. I mean, look how beautiful that came out. Yeah, it was wonderful. So we're going to be having beautiful weather coming up again this weekend. So make sure that you have a chance to get out. And I would highly recommend the Pinnacles in Berea. It's just off to the east of the college if you haven't been to it.
It is gorgeous. And this is also, of course, a big day for True Blue fans.
That's right.
Hard to believe Coach Cal and the Cats are getting ready for their final home game of this season tonight. 6th-ranked Kentucky taking on Tennessee at Rupp Arena, and it's also senior night. Now, of course, UK doesn't have any seniors this year, but Nate Sestina is a grad transfer, so he will be honored tonight and get to start the game. And his parents made the trip to Lexington to celebrate with him. He has said being here has just been a dream come true. He joined the 1,000-point club for his entire college career. He's such a great young man, and it's just been a pleasure to watch him here at Kentucky. So tip-off is at 9 tonight on ESPN, so it's going to be another late night for the Cats fans.
But a good game, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at what's on now. If you have had an iPhone 6 or 7 before 2018, you could get some money back from Apple. Check this out. The company is settling a class action lawsuit claiming it purposefully slowed down those iPhone models to make users think they needed newer and faster phones. Oh my goodness. Under the deal, owners of certain iPhone models will be entitled to $25 per device.
I think we need more than 25.
Yeah, I really think that's undercutting it here. That could go up or down depending on, of course, how many claims are filed, but the payout is expected to cost Apple up to $500 million. Apple admitted back in 2017 of its software update it did slow down the phones, but the company insisted that it was to stop a battery problem, so they were lying. It caused the phones to shut down. Apple started offering to replace those batteries for $79 a pop, which was later reduced to $29. But oh my goodness.
I mean, this was just one of those things too where you knew it was like, well, you know, my phone is, you know, the battery doesn't last as long as it used to.
Knew.
The whole thing, it was just a scam. They were doing it on purpose, so you'd be like, oh, time for me to buy another phone.
Yeah. I mean, there was no hard evidence, but everyone was
right. They didn't admit to any wrongdoing.
After a certain amount of time and people being like, why is my phone slowing down whenever the new one comes out? it starts to make sense. So, yeah, I mean, I think that if you did have that, you absolutely should file the claim.
I'll be signing up for my $25.
There you go.
Okay, well, watch a French designer blowing minds as he blows past spectators in his super suit. And look at this. It's covered in roller skates. He calls himself, no surprise, Roller Man.
Of course.
He made his first suit in 1994 and now has 30 of them. Roller Man says he has reached speeds of over 60 miles an hour. I mean, like, he's rolling like with his back too. This is crazy.
Oh, it looks like a movie trailer to the movie Brink from back in the was it the 90s? You remember that, Chris? Yeah. Of all the kids that were like, you had the bad kids that were roller
he's behind
skating.
cars. Like this looks like super dangerous.
I like how he was doing like his back on the wall or something.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
He does snow season as well. Come on.
Yeah.
This is.
It's just a matter of time before we have an update on this story, and it's that he was injured in an accident.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time. All right, a New Hampshire fisherman has got a whale of a tale to tell. Thomas Knight reeled in this record-breaking 37-pound lake trout. The colossal catch shattered the previous state record by over 9 pounds. The New Hampshire Fish and Game Department also said it's the largest lake trout caught in all of New England.
It's pretty impressive.
How long do you think it took him to reel that one in?
I don't know. And I also read where they said that they think that this fish is between like 50 and 60 years old. So, I wonder if it's one of those things where somebody caught it at one point and threw it back in.
Probably.
And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
It's just like, man, all these worms I'm eating, delicious. That's probably why he's gotten so big. But yeah, what an amazing catch.
Yes.
Props to him.
Well, Bumble Bee is hoping to make a buzz with its new changes. The canned tuna industry has been stung with a number of scandals in the past years. Among them, a price-fixing scheme in which Bumble Bee pleaded guilty and paid a $25 million fine. It's also been blasted for its fishing practices, which unintentionally netted marine life, including dolphins. And there have also been claims of human rights violations. On top of that, Americans haven't been eating as much tuna in the past 2 decades, but CEO Jan Tharp says things will be different in the future. Bumble Bee is selling microwavable bistro bowls and protein on the run snack packs. They're also launching new flavors. Tharp also says the company is working to improve conditions on its fishing boats and factories. Not sure about that spicy Thai chili with tuna in a pouch.
I'm not sure about any of this.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the canned tuna
I'm not a big
either,
fan
but
of tuna in general. But I mean, hey, to each their own. And,
it's a good source of protein.
I've never even heard of. I mean, now I've heard of them, Bumble Bee seafood. But well, what's the one that like the real popular tuna that everybody eats? Star-kissed?
Chicken of the sea.
I thought it was Star-kissed. Is that not? Yeah, I know. I think there's a Star-kissed tuna.
Yeah, I think that is a thing.
Regardless, however you like your tuna, just make sure you eat it safe.
Yes. Well, from Berea College to Atlanta, Georgia, Chris Hayes has joined the gang of Sesame Street.
That's right. He's the man behind Hoots the Owl. He joins us by phone now. Thanks for talking with us. So tell us a little bit about your career so far and how much fun you're having with it.
Hey, everybody. Yeah. Well, first of all, let me say it's great to call in. I'm so glad to connect with Kentucky. This has been a crazy couple of years. It started about a year ago, because February is when I got the call and was able to audition, and I was granted with the performer of Hoots the Owl. And so I've been doing that for about a year. But before that, since I've been with Sesame Street since about 2014, doing background and assisting and helping out and doing back, whatever they needed. I was just there. And then so 2019 has been a busy year.
Sure.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, what made you say puppeteer? Like, how did you end up going that track on your journey?
That's a great question. Yeah, in college, well, I've always been into puppetry, and I'm from Connecticut originally. I used to come down to Atlanta and visit the Center for Puppetry Arts, which is still there today and a lot bigger. And sometimes during college, I decided I was just like, this is kind of what I want to do. I want to get back into puppets. And so I decided to go over to Cincinnati with a resume and a dream and hope that they needed a puppeteer. The Mad Cat Puppets, they're still there. And then they said, yeah, come on. And so from 2006 until 2009 or 10, I was just touring the country, doing puppet stuff, and then learning the road and paying my dues.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, yeah.
That's
I love it.
amazing. So I'd like to know, how do you get into the character whenever you're getting, because I mean, you've been doing this for a while. So how do you get to the point to where you come up with maybe the voice or just the mindset to be the character that you're trying to portray?
And now it's Hoots the Owl.
Right.
Yeah, well, Hoots is very special to me because growing up, I had watched Hoots and Kevin Clash do the character for so long. And Kevin Clash is famous for, of course, for Elmo, but he also did Hoots since the 80s. And so that's just a character that I really connected with. And so when I was put in charge of doing that character, for the character already exists, what's great about that is I can get on YouTube, I can get on the HBO app, and I can watch just enormous amounts of Hoots and really dig into what the character sounds like, how he moves. And then I start to work in things that I am as a performer. And I'm still pretty young as far as Sesame is concerned. So I also have tons of veteran puppeteers looking out for me and being like, this is kind of how we used to do it when I was, season 30. They're like, so I'm thoroughly protected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Chris, real quick, we have puppets here from the Magical Toy Shop, and since you're such a professional at doing this, we want to get some pointers from you on how to work it, maybe get a voice going. Can you give us some pointers on it?
Absolutely. I see your puppets. I saw on the before you guys started the show.
Okay.
So the hand puppets, the main thing about those and any puppets is like the idea of puppetry is to move something that isn't alive to make you think that it's alive.
Okay.
And the main thing with hand puppets and all kind of puppets, the most important things are the eyes. So when your hand is in there, and I know you can work your hand so that you have a finger in the head or a couple fingers in the head and maybe 2 fingers in the hands. Pointing that head about where you're looking or towards the audience or towards your other puppets in the scene or towards something happening in the scene is really important. And then you start to play around with what things can I do? How can I move my hand to get kind of gestures that are like how people move? Because that's the main thing. Those are great puppets.
Well, thank you so much for all the pointers, and we wish you all the best in your career. We'll be watching you, and of course, you can catch Chris's character on Sesame Street. Big thank you, Chris, for taking the time to talk to us.
Awesome. Thank you, Kentucky. Fritz and Ann, good seeing you guys. Keep watching the show. It's great.
Yay, thank you, and we'll be right back.